Welcome, everyone, and a happy Halloween. Welcome to the Halloween season. This is Creativity and the Paranormal. And I'm also going to be putting this video on my blog, 31 Days of Halloween, as well. So we got a YouTube channel video and the blog going. And my special guests today are the Portland Ghostbusters. And James Nelson and Joanna Nelson are co-presidents. They began the group, I believe, right, James?
I began the group in 2012, and Joanna joined in 2016.
2016. And so what I have to ask, as a married couple, when people meet you and they say, what do you do on the weekends? Do you say we're ghost busting?
Well, I mean, you can probably hear our son in the background. So
Yes.
that changes due to that. But definitely once it gets to be the end of August, that's when our weekends book up, and we got to tell people, yeah, we can't hang out, or we can't do this. We got a Ghostbusters thing going on. So.
Right. And that's why we're doing a little time slip here. That's why I caught you guys early. And this is being posted on October 1st. But we're actually at the end of August. So I'm sitting here with air conditioning, with all the Halloween stuff. But so anyway, I know that your son is up and you have to take care of him. So we'll keep this rolling. And, you know, if you want to introduce him, that's great. If not, that's great too. But I have to ask, so what is it about the original Ghostbusters film that, you know, that inspired you to begin this group in 2012?
So it is kind of a funny story. When I was a kid, I loved Ghostbusters. It was my favorite movie. My parents had taped it, I think, off of Showtime, which tells you how far back that was.
Yeah.
Onto a Betamax machine. So we had it on beta for a while, and then the cartoon came out, and I remember collecting the little back to school toys from McDonald's.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I loved it. In fact, the best birthday gift I got. I'm an October baby. So
me too. October 18th.
October 3rd.
All right.
So I remember I'd asked my parents for the Kenner proton pack, and this was the only time, because I remember I had seen the box. I wasn't snooping per se, but I'd seen the box, and I couldn't wait. And the night before my birthday, I couldn't sleep, and I remember getting up, and I think I was turning 7 or 8, and I went downstairs, and my parents were watching a movie, and I said, I can't sleep because I'm so excited about my birthday. And my dad was like, "Oh, for crying out loud!" She said, "Do you want to just open it right now?" And I was like, "No, I'll wait till tomorrow."
Oh, that's great.
I loved Ghostbusters, and then I started getting into other things, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. And I remember in the early 2000s, I had a buddy who was like, had bought Ghostbusters on DVD, and I remember thinking, "Oh, that's a kids movie." And so anyway, back in 2009, my dad was taking a fishing trip, and my mom said, "Why don't you come over for dinner and we'll watch a movie? Ghostbusters is streaming on Netflix. Let's watch that." Okay. And again, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch that. That's a movie for kids." But I was like, "All right, we'll watch it." And I watched it again, and I remember thinking like, "Oh, this movie is not for kids." I don't know why my parents let me watch this movie. But it kind of is. So it was weird because I got to enjoy it from a kid level where I didn't get all the sarcasm. And then I got to enjoy it as an adult where I got all of the sarcasm and all the dirty jokes.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like being a kid again watching it. And I fell in love with it again. And I just thought, this was in the summer, like July, I think, of 2009. And I just thought, I'm going to put together a Ghostbusters Halloween costume. And I started looking into that. And at first I was like, oh, this is going to be really expensive. And I put in some money to try to build my own pack, which was a huge endeavor. And by 2012, because I basically for 3 years I'd been a Ghostbuster for Halloween, and I just thought I want to do more with this. And I remember seeing on GB Fans there were a lot of actual groups, and they had designed their own franchise patch, and they would go out and do conventions, and they would do all this fun stuff. And I remember thinking, I want to do that. There's nothing like that in Portland. And I didn't really want to start my own group. I just wanted to join one that was already there. But since there wasn't one already here, I went into GB Fans, and they had basically a listing by state. So I went into the Oregon part, and I made a post. It was just like, hey, is there anybody in the Portland metro area that would be interested in making a franchise? And instantly I heard back from 2 people. One was our co-founder, who was just like, oh my God, yes, I've wanted to do this forever. And one was this 11-year-old kid who was like, oh, I want to do this too. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to do that. But the funny thing is like this 11-year-old kid became one of our best members. And his parents were so supportive. They brought him to every event. So we started in the spring of 2012, and we were planning on like what our first event would be. And we decided, because that year Rose City Comic-Con was starting up, and we decided, okay, this will be our first outing. And we had 5 of us that got together for Rose City Comic-Con. And this was before it was in the convention center. It was at the Doubletree Hotel near Lloyd Center. And there was no AC there. It was a hot, fall. But we had a really good time. And I remember probably the funniest story about that is we thought that the convention had moved into the hotel area, because we saw some people going in there. And so we walked in, and one of our members, just completely channeling Bill Murray, walked right in, and he just yells, hey, anybody seen a ghost? And we looked around and realized that there were hardly any people in costume there. And this guy in a suit just like appeared next to us, and he goes, hi, can I help you, gentlemen? We're like, no, we're doing okay. He says, well, you're not going to go upstairs, are you? And the guy said, why? Is there something cool up there? And he says, well, I just don't want you disturbing our guests. And that was when we realized, like, oh, we're not supposed to be in this part. So funny. that was how we started. It was 5 of us, and at Rose City Comic-Con, and we slowly started growing. And when my wife and I started dating at the end of 2015, and I told her right away, because I thought like this might be a deal breaker. If I tell her I'm doing
that out immediately.
Yeah, I just like, I don't want like us to give 6 months, and if things are going to be going great, and then be like, by the way, I dress up like a Ghostbuster, and she'll be like, oh yeah, I think I'm out. But she was like, oh, okay, well, I have no interest in that. That's your thing, and that's fine. You do your thing. I got my own things I like to do that you probably don't like to do. So we'll just separate that. And our group started getting big. And in 2016, I said, dear, I've always thought that we should like do charity events. Like we could raise money for charity by showing up in costume.
Yeah.
Is that like, would you like to be our charity coordinator? I know this isn't something that you like to do. And she said, oh yeah, I'll definitely be the charity coordinator. I don't want to have to buy a costume or anything, but I'll do that. And then like a month later, she said, okay, I think I want to get a flight suit. So we went to Andy and Bax and we got her that. And she's like, that's all. This is fun, just so I look the part, that's fine. And then like it got to be Halloween and she said, all right, I think I want a proton pack. So we got her one at Spirit, one of the Spirit Halloween packs. And she's been I think in 2018, basically, we were doing so well. We sort of had a very loose leadership structure. And the members of our group just said, like, guys, we don't need all of these leadership positions. Like, you guys are running the group, that's fine. We're willing to help out, but let's just keep it with you guys running things for right now.
So it was you and Joanna.
Yeah. So we're like, all right, we'll be co-presidents of the group. And honestly, I couldn't run it without Joanna because she does like 90% of the admin work.
Yes.
And she does the all of our charity coordination. In fact, due to her, we have an exclusive I don't want to say contract, but agreement with the Spirit Halloween stores in the Portland area.
Oh, I was just there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love their stuff. But
Oakland, right? Okay.
Yeah, we help them raise money for Dornbecker's Children's Hospital. And
nice.
Part of that on our end also is Joanna is training our members to like, okay, here's how you strike up conversations with people so that it doesn't sound, because a lot of our members they just like to wear the gear and that's fine, and they're like, talking to people is hard.
Yeah.
And so she's been training people to be like, okay, well, let me give you some tips. I have done this for a living. I know how to do this.
Oh, okay. There you go. And so you have the crossover.
Yeah. And she has professionally worked as doing charity coordination. So here she is right now. I'll let her talk about our
we had a little tech issue. They're on their phone. So we're kind of going back and forth here. But
we'll swap off. Hi.
So no, I do want to ask about the charity events you do. So let me just say, I just heard about how it started. So how do you approach someone to do a charity event with their company, and how do people get in touch with you?
Great questions. So when I was 18, I became a wish granter with Make-A-Wish Foundation. And that was in Los Angeles, where I'm from. When I moved up here, I got involved up here. And I just said, hey, I'm part of a cosplay group. Would you like us to come to the Walk for Wishes? And that's how we got involved with Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, great.
I was already in with them. So we've done Walk for Wishes. We've done the Lupus Walk for Lupus Foundation of America. We've done the Melanoma Walk. We just did Cystic Fibrosis Walk. And both the Cystic Fibrosis and Walk for Melanoma both reached out to us.
They'd heard about you, right?
I'm sorry, what?
Because they'd heard about you?
Correct. Yeah. They've come to one of our events previously and said, oh my gosh, we love you. Would you come, and attend the walk and, cheer people on, pass out stickers, raise money, things like that. So that's kind of how we go about the different charity walks. We also donate to the Cancer Society. We've done suicide prevention, and we've done locally. We also had a member pass away from esophageal cancer. So we've donated to OHSU, to their esophageal cancer research department. So we work on a national and local level, depending on the charity that we work with.
Yeah. And when you go to the events, obviously everyone's dressed in the outfits and the gear. And
Mhm.
let's say it's the lupus walk or something. So you have a table set up. So I saw your website, great website, by the way, you know, and yeah, I saw some of the pictures from the events. And so you have
Mhm.
like proton packs and everything there with the gear, and the kids engage with you. And then like if they donate to your, do they donate to your group and then you pass it on, or is it through?
So our links for like the actual walks are set up and we post them
Okay.
on our page. So like Walk for Wishes, we register as a team or an individual member, and then they can click on that link and it goes directly to the foundation. Or if we're having a fundraiser, or they donate to, let's say at Comic-Con or the Oregon Ghost Conference, etc., if they drop money into our jar for that foundation, that goes directly to the foundation. So there's multiple ways of doing it. When we were raising money for Starlight Foundation for Ghostbusters hospital gowns for kids, we had both. We had the link set up that they could click on our website and on our social media to donate directly to the Starlight Foundation, or the money that we received directly at Fan Expo went to Starlight as well.
Oh, okay, great. So there's so many different ways to make it happen, right? So I have to mention, and I don't know if I ran into the two of you. There was at the Oregon Ghost Conference last March. I was on a trip with my sisters. I'm from Laguna Beach, California, Southern Cal, but I'm in upstate New York right now. So I was on a trip with them to the Oregon coast. We all got together. So I don't know if you can see Haunted Herbie back there, the white ghost, the white.
We have ours.
Or Haunted Herbie from the Oregon Ghost Conference. So I saw your guys' booth and display there, and I have to ask, you had what looks like the real Ghostbusters car, the huge white Cadillac or something. So
ours is a 1962 Cadillac hearse. Our member Paul, I'm sorry, what was that?
Where did you get it?
So our member Paul, it's his. It lives in Sandy, Oregon. We met Paul in September at Rose City Comic-Con. He's been wanting to join our team for years. He's had the car about a year and a half, 2 years now. And when the Vacasa shoot came up, the Vacasa Ghostbusters commercial that was shot in Portland, I said, we haven't met in person. I know you have the car. I can't tell you anything about this project. You have to sign an NDA. Do you want to be involved? We need the Ecto. He said, absolutely, say no more. All I had to do is tell him that Sony and Ghost Corps have contacted us, and that was it. And then that night, like, we interviewed him. We loved spending time with him. He joined our team. He's now a full member, and the car is an official Portland Ghostbuster vehicle, along with Paul, the owner.
That is great. So wait, you said you did a commercial?
We did, yeah.
So, I mean, whatever you can say about it, I was curious.
Well, we can talk about it now because it's been released. It's happened last September. Sony Pictures partnered with Vacasa and a third-party consultant team called Consult. They're out of San Diego, and Ghost Corps gave them our information to help work on a commercial here in the Portland area. They decked out a Vacasa house, privately owned. It's like an Airbnb. Vacasa is local to Oregon. And we gave them a bunch of our props. We gave them our proton packs and belt gizmos and boots and things like that. And anything at the end that Sony didn't want, we got to take.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so we have a Ecto containment unit. We have a ginormous Viga. We have so many things. I have boots from the set, and the Ecto that's pulling out of the firehouse bay is Paul's Ecto, and my husband and two other members got to ride in the Ecto as it's pulling out with sirens on, going around the corner.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
Me and a couple other members made 10 gallons of slime for the commercial. We did five gallons of moose slime, 5 of the green, and it was a great
I'm sorry, I have to interject. How do you make slime, the green slime?
So our recipe is very simple. It's clear school glue, Elmer's magical liquid, food coloring, and if you want to add something fun to it, you can add glitter.
If you want to add what?
Something fun to it, you just add some glitter.
Glitter. Oh, nice.
But the base of it is just Elmer's clear glue and Elmer's magical liquid and some food coloring. That's it.
Oh wow, makes it so simple, right?
So simple. We make a lot of slime throughout the year.
Oh my goodness. So I did do some research on your website before I came, and I know that you staged at 2 Century 16 movie theaters when Ghostbusters Afterlife movie came out in 2000. Is that 16? 2000? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. When did Afterlife come out? 21. So yes, I was pregnant. I was 6 months pregnant in 21. But in 2018, when it was the anniversary, we were at one theater for the anniversary weekend. And then 2021 was Afterlife, and we staged the opening weekend for that at 2 different theaters.
I saw the photos. It was so fun. You're playing with the kids and doing the meter to see if they had a ghost on them or something.
Yeah. And we were also at the Oregon Symphony in 2020 before the pandemic, when they had Ghostbusters in concert, and they played the movie with the orchestra doing the score in front of the movie, and that was an amazing experience as well.
Oh, I heard about that. And then you were in the lobby. You had all your stuff set up in the lobby.
Exactly.
Oh, great. So just give me a little sense of what is the month of October for you guys? What's that like?
Last October we did 13 events.
Yeah.
Last September we did 8. This October, we are already completely booked.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Every weekend. The only weekend we don't have is October 1st. Not open, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay.
We are completely booked. Between Spirit Halloween, we already have 5 locations.
In around Oakland, you said?
We have around the Portland, the Salem area, Vancouver, Gresham. So we have 5 locations already booked with Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
We have a harvest, like farmers market type thing. We have slime making for 2 days, and that's 400 kids in the 2 days.
Oh gosh, wow.
Yeah. We have a lot already.
That's great. So I have to say, I thought it was hysterical. I read the article that was in the Oregonian that's on your website. They did an article about you guys when you were, I believe, when you were doing the events for the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie.
Yes.
So they said that people actually think you can get a ghost out of their house. You have to explain we're not paranormal.
Oh yes. So
right.
We get asked all the time if we actually do paranormal elimination.
Yeah.
And if we go to people's haunted houses and things like that, and I have to let them know that there are some of us that are very interested in the paranormal, not dressed up in our flight suits. However, this is not something that we do as a Ghostbuster, that we are a donation-based charity cosplay group. Yeah. This is for fun. And so they are disappointed. They always want us to make an exception. We don't do ghost tours or anything like that in uniform unless it is for theatrical experience. And
Oh, yes.
so our friend Rocky, who is the director of the Oregon Ghost Conference, has asked us, hey, you know, will you do a ghost walk with me in your flight suits and things like that? And so for that,
then you can act like you're gonna, you know, do something to the ghost.
you know, I don't know, but he thinks it would be fun. Or
Yeah.
if we're asked to go to appearances like that, then we will. But we're not going to show up to your house doing an actual ghost hunting thing as a Ghostbuster. This is for fun.
Yeah. Well, I don't either. This is for fun for me too. But I wanted to throw this out to you and James and or a little part of the article I wanted to repeat. Again, this is the Oregonian around 2021 when the other movie opened up. Because I want to ask how you guys make your proton packs. Now, gosh, what's his name?
Sean Marshall?
John Marshall?
Sean.
Yeah. Okay, Sean Marshall. His proton backpack, while he wears it today, he was made using wood, PVC pipe, a Pringles can, whiteout correction fluid caps, a Super 8 film canister, and a cast made from his mom's roasting pan. In the days before readily available home computers, he pried warning labels from Atari games, electrical boxes, and took a weed whacker to add some graphic elements to his creation. So, how do you guys make your proton pack?
So, Sean's amazing. He made his in 1984. He and a friend went to Texas on this Ghostbusters tour type thing, and they had 1-to-1 scales, and he was taking pictures and taking very detailed notes for him to go back home and make it and recreate it.
Wow.
So that's how he did his. And mine is a modified spirit pack. And I have to be honest, I am not handy. I am not techie. So our prop coordinator, our leadership person who does props in uniform, she's amazing. And she has helped modify my pack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And James built his before the HasLab came out. He built his from scratch.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about how you built yours?
Yeah.
Because he built his original one from the scratch. So I'm gonna let him come back and he can talk about that.
Thank you. And then just a couple more questions. I know you have your son over there.
Yeah.
Welcome back, James. Welcome back.
Sure. So, okay. The pack. First off, I absolutely backed the HasLab proton pack back in 2022. So that's become my primary pack now.
Okay.
But and I did mention, you know, back in 2009 that I was going to build my own pack, and it took until 2012, so 3 years before I got it how I really wanted it. I spent $300 to buy a shell of the main part of the pack. Oh, okay. And then I did everything on eBay at the time. And I found parts on eBay. I bought labels. And I'm not super handy myself. And my dad is a physicist, and he used to be a technical engineer. And so I went to him and was like, can you help me build this? And he was like, don't know anything about this. Like, I work on CRT scopes. I don't know like what this. Yeah. And then he was like, okay, I think I figured it out. So we built it together, and I even got a sound and light kit. I mean, I probably total over 3 years, probably put $2,000 into it, and that's pretty actually on the cheap side for a scratch build proton pack. And mine is not screen accurate at all. I had some structural issues with it, so the motherboard is bigger than it should be. I did get Ernie Hudson to sign it.
Oh, I saw that photo on your website with Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really nice guy. We had a great time meeting him.
Where did you meet him?
At Rose City Comic Con.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, I'm not really into conventions. I go with our group, but most of the time I'm like, I'm not gonna go get an autograph, or I'm not gonna go meet these people. It's fine. I'll just, I'll look at the merch. But that was the only time I actually went and stood in line to meet a celebrity, and I paid for an autograph. So I was very happy to do this.
Did you mention you were with the Portland Ghostbusters and all that?
Hey, we did. We actually gave him an honorary. So when we get people become full members, we give them a doctorate degree, a doctor of ghostbusting.
Oh, okay.
And then they get the No Ghost Rose patch. And so we gave him an honorary doctorate that conveyed honorary membership, and we gave him a No Ghost Rose patch to go along with that.
Oh, so, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, for honorary members, we have Ernie Hudson, we have Robin Shelby, who was Slimer in Ghostbusters 2 and Ghostbusters Answer the Call.
He was
Billy West,
the voice of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy West is an honorary member. Andrew Schaefer, who wrote the novelization, or not the novelization, but the movie tie-in book, Ghosts of Our Past, for the 2016 film. Trying to think who else, but
that's great.
Yeah, so we try to have like little fun things like that as well. But
that's wonderful. Going along with what you just said, what now if someone wants to start their own franchise group somewhere where there isn't one, what advice would you give to them?
I would say, first off, make sure you've got some good people that want to do it with you. I was very fortunate that my co-founder was really passionate about it and really helped get things off the ground. He no longer is in the United States. Actually, my co-founder was on the show, the Lego Buildmasters show back in 2020.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then he got offered a job to work for Lego, so he and his family moved to Denmark.
Okay.
But I was very fortunate that we had some good people. The really important thing is that you have people who sort of share your vision for what the group is going to be.
Yes.
You have
to have that cohesion.
Yeah, because there are, and if the group gets big enough, it doesn't have to necessarily be as cohesive. Our group is pretty big, and we have people who really like doing the charity work. Yeah, here's our little Ghostbuster.
Aww. I can't quite see. Oh, hi there. What's your name?
This is David.
David. Oh, all right.
Yeah, pumpkins.
He sees the jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, he likes them. Yeah.
He loves pumpkins. That's his new thing.
That's so adorable. Happy Halloween, David.
Yeah.
And he's eating a pumpkin.
Yeah.
That's so
so we've got people who love doing charity, and we've got people who would rather do conventions, and we have people who just like dressing up. And so we're big enough that we can cover just about everything. And
so you have like a department that each person can kind of go into if they want.
Yeah, but when you're when you're just
I love it.
Our son loves the video chat, so I apologize.
Oh, it's
He
a
said hi.
littlest Ghostbuster.
yeah,
He
has his own flight suit and a
Oh,
remembers custom made him a proton pack.
oh my
That
gosh.
he wears for events. So
Is there a picture of him on your website?
I
don't know if he's on our website, but he's on our social media.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All decked out.
Definitely is on Facebook.
Facebook and Instagram, but definitely our Facebook.
Oh, okay. Well, I know I have to let you go, and I want to ask this question, but I know your son is there. I always ask anyone I interview, have you, and I know this sounds like it's coming out of the Ghostbusters movie, but I have to ask, have you ever seen a ghost, or have you had an unusual experience? And they don't have to be negative, they can be, positive.
Yeah, we both have had anomalous experiences. Mine was I'll really quickly, I'll just say I had I was house sitting for some friends, and as I was falling asleep, I heard the sound of somebody coughing right next to my head.
And there was nobody there.
Nobody there. I was the only one in the house. And when I talked to them, when they came back, they were like, oh, they said, oh yeah, that's Mr. Johnson. He's our resident ghost. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But Joanna has had better experiences than I have.
I grew up in a haunted house. The spirits were my friends. We just all coexisted. My dad, they would play tricks on my dad. My dad would ask me how to talk to them, and he would go from the kitchen, which was downstairs, upstairs, to like, we know you're here. You're okay to be here, but stop messing with me. Stop hiding my things.
Yeah. Okay.
So I grew up with a lot of things I can't explain, a lot of different paranormal experiences throughout my entire life. And it's been a wonderful gift, I would say.
Yes. That's so great. And see, it's perfect because now you're a Ghostbuster.
I'm a Ghostbuster, and our son dresses up in his flight suit. He did his first event at 6 weeks old.
Oh my gosh.
He wore his flight suit, and I pushed him in the stroller at a Mardi Gras parade, and that was his first event.
Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if the next time you do stuff on your website, I mean, if you want to put your son up there, I'd love to see him in his outfit.
Yeah, I will send you some photos of him. Oh, he just haunted Herbie and knocked my phone out of my hand.
Oh, haunted Herbie.
I will definitely send you some photos.
We want to keep this real. We don't like it to be stuffy. So, things happening like that, that's what we love. And look, there's the Ghostbusters sign. Woohoo!
Yeah.
All right. Well, I better let you go, but you know what? We are putting this out on October 1st. So I want to say to everyone, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And thank you, Portland Ghostbusters. Keep on busting.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.